League has a bunch of different skin lines, and each one tells its own story, usually centered around the motivations of its main characters, which are typically the legendary skins of the champs involved. So in this video, I'm gonna rank the most powerful skin lines. Quick heads up though, if I don't mention a specific champion when I'm talking about a skin line, it's just because they're not really important to the story. In 10th place, we've got the Space Groove skin line. The story kicks off in a galaxy far, far away, where a mysterious energy called Groove spreads music and prosperity to planets. Our beloved Teemo is the embodiment of this groove energy, and he's basically merged musical power with high-tech gear like mechs, weapons, and space travel. Now he's flying around uniting planets through music. But of course, every good story has its villains. Here, we've got Empress Lysandra and her army of harsh vibes. Their goal? Kill the vibe. She's tricking soldiers and enslaving planets to wipe out disco and replace it with elevator music. She punishes anyone who dares listen to the forbidden rhythm. Yeah, I know it sounds ridiculous, kind of like a joke, but if you stop and think about it, they're literally flying through space, conquering worlds. That's not weak. They're strong, no doubt. I ranked them 10th because their power and goals aren't totally focused on destruction or war. It's more about music. Moving on. 9th place goes to the Steel Valkyries skin line. This lore starts with a galactic war where bandits are messing everything up and mercenaries and vigilantes are out hunting them using super advanced exosuits. The main character here is Misfortune, represented by her ultimate skin, Gun Goddess. She was left for dead by assassins, but miraculously survived and swore revenge. Now she pilots the most powerful exosuit in the galaxy, the Exo. She's insanely strong. She can basically wipe out armies on her own. There are other exosuit pilots in this universe, but MF is clearly way stronger than the rest, so their destructive power overall is a bit lower. Still, they're capable of causing citywide massacres. Definitely a powerful skin line. In 8th place, we've got the Mika vs. Kaiju skin line, obviously inspired by the movie Pacific Rim. If you've seen it, you already know how this works. If not, go watch it. It's pure cinema. Giant monsters are destroying cities, and humanity builds huge mechs to stop them. Each mech has a team, a role, and specific weapons to fight different kaiju. The two strongest mechs are Malphite, who's literally the size of a city and can burrow underground to destroy planets from the inside out, and Aurelion Sol, who's the mothership in this universe. He carries hundreds of thousands of people, weapons, and even other mechs inside of him. That's insane. Now, talking kaiju, we've only got one skin so far, Crab God, and get this, he hasn't even been killed. That means even the strongest mechs haven't been able to beat him. Every time a fight ends, he just dips back into the ocean and disappears. To give you a sense of his size, check out this comparison between him and a cargo ship. Yeah, massive. So yeah, overall, these champs are absolutely busted. Everyone's huge and insanely strong, but now we're stepping things up. We're leaving planetary or galactic threats behind and going into universal territory. In 7th place, Star Guardians. A long time ago, a being called the First Star lived alone in the vast, empty universe. Tired of being alone, she spread her light and created life, and every living being now carries a piece of that light inside them. Knowing that light had to be protected from the darkness, she chose a group of girls to become the Star Guardians. Each was given a companion called a familiar to help them on their missions. Now, there are male Star Guardians too, Ezreal, Raken, Echo, but it was originally a girl squad, so I'm just gonna refer to them as she in general. Each familiar transforms based on the Star Guardian's personality, becoming her weapon. So we've got all kinds of styles, from ranged guns to melee weapons, energy orbs, armor, nature-based powers, you name it. But yeah, just like every hero team, we've got villains. Zoe was once an ancient Star Guardian, one of the originals, but her heart leaned more toward chaos than love. She twisted her powers and swapped her light for dark matter, making her way stronger than a regular Star Guardian. Then we've got Raken and Xayah, who fought against her, lost, and got corrupted. And it doesn't stop there. There are the final bosses, Star Nemesis Fiddlesticks and Morgana. Fiddle used to be a Star Guardian, and she was actually the first Star Guardian ever to succumb. When she fell into true darkness, she became a monster, and the only piece left of who she was is the familiar, now trapped in a cage inside Fiddle's body. It's also said that any Star Guardian who doesn't die in battle, in other words, one who lives for a long time, eventually ends up like her, meaning more Fiddles could be on the way. Creepy. Also, Fiddlesticks consumes the light of Star Guardians before killing them, absorbing their power and becoming even more insanely strong. Morgana? Her origins are mysterious, but she believes that concepts like order and justice are holding the universe back, so she wants to return it to a state of pure chaos. Thing is, we don't really know the full power level of the Star Guardians or their corrupted versions, but we do know that they can destroy cities and even planets, and that's just the regular ones. Fiddle and Morgana are on a whole other level. Also, shout out to Soraka. She's like the heart of the group. She has the strongest control over light and leads the others. If she ever got corrupted, she'd 100% become the most powerful threat in the whole universe. Not relevant for the ranking, but just a cool little detail. Next up, 6th place, the Odyssey skins. We don't know exactly how this universe started, but we do know what fuels it, a substance called aura. It's kind of like the light from the Star Guardian universe. It exists in everything. Starting with Yasuo, he is the captain of a rogue spaceship crew. He was falsely accused of killing his brother, and now he's constantly on the run. Cool reference to his original lore. For combat, that, he uses an alien tech katana and the aura inside his body to create strong wind blasts and even full-on hurricanes. His crewmates are Jinx and Malphite, two aura miners who got fired after Jinx accidentally split a mining meteor in half. They joined Yasuo's crew and now protect Sona, a being who can communicate directly with aura. She's the guardian of the Aura Gate, a portal between the Odyssey universe and the Dark Star universe. Only a few know about this portal: Yasuo's crew, Sona, Kayn, and Zed. Kayn and Zed are the main villains, with legendary skins. Kayn's got a scythe that holds a Dark Star entity called Rost, and they're fighting for control. Kayn wants to enslave the universe under one empire, and Rost just wants chaos and destruction. Again, cool reference to the main Runeterra lore. Zed, on the other hand, used to be a Templar, but now he's fused with Aura's collective mind and can turn his own body into living weapons. His goal? Fuse with all Aura in the universe and become the only pure being worthy of wielding its true essence. So yeah, he's out here obliterating planets and cleansing the weak. In this universe, unlike Star Guardians, where most people are regular, everyone is powerful, and with Kayn and Zed able to solo entire galaxies, yeah, 6th place is solid. Now in 5th place, we've got the Dawnbringer and Nightbringer skins. At the dawn of creation, two entities were born: light and darkness, gods, immortals. They took physical form and have been clashing ever since. Riven represents the light, Yasuo the darkness. They're locked in an eternal struggle to decide the universe's fate. Both are represented by legendary skins. Fun fact, when these skins dropped, Riot had players vote on who would win the fight. They even made comics showing both outcomes. The vote came down to which icon players chose, Riven or Yasuo. In the end, Yasuo won. He stabbed Riven in the back and disintegrated her body. Her spirit still lives inside his sword, though, because after losing, she realized the universe needs both light and chaos. If Riven had won, she would have absorbed Yasuo's darkness, showing that pain will always exist. Deep stuff. So yeah, light and chaos will always exist, making these two the most powerful beings in the universe. Now, as chaos spreads, more light and dark gods are born and fight each other. In the middle of it all, we've got Soraka, supposedly the daughter of Yasuo and Riven, not literally. She was formed from the sparks left behind by their battle, and now she must choose light or darkness and shape the future of the universe. Another fun bit, the God King's skin line, Garen and Darius, is part of this universe too, just on a way smaller scale. And yeah, we're already talking about beings that literally shaped the entire universe, so you'd think it couldn't get any stronger, but we still have 4 skin lines left to go. At this point, you might be wondering, is there anything stronger than that? And yeah, there is. It's your support, your like, your sub, your comment. That's what gives me the strength to keep going. So thank you, and let's keep it moving. Coming in at 4th place, we have the Immortal Journey skin line. This one goes beyond just a universe. It's multiversal level. The lore of these skins is set in a divine realm where the strongest beings are granted immortality and divine powers if they prove themselves worthy to the divine order. In this universe, gods aren't born immortal. They start off as regular humans and transcend over time, becoming divine. Their power levels are insanely exaggerated. We're talking about beings who can easily wipe out galaxies. Each character expresses their powers in unique ways, but make no mistake, they're all crazy powerful. Now, you might be wondering if they really deserve this high spot. Like, sure, they're powerful and all, but there's no mention of them creating or ending the universe, right? But here's the thing, this skin line is heavily inspired by Chinese cultivation novels. Heavily. I don't know if you've ever read any of those, but in those stories, characters reach levels of power where they can reset the universe just because they're bored, rebuild it from scratch, and do it all over again, 10 times over. In these stories, characters are so strong that entire planets have to be reinforced just to handle the pressure of their presence. Like, literally, just walking could tear space and time apart and erase everything. That's the level of power we're talking about, and this skin line really leans into that. Take Master Yi, for example. In this skin line, he's probably a sword cultivator, walking the path of sword intent to ascend on his immortal journey. Not that Master Yi is some particularly special champ here. He's just a good example of how this skin line draws from that cultivation genre. But even though all the characters here are ultra powerful, there's always one that's a step above the rest, and that's Zed. In this universe, Zed is the most powerful of the gods. He was exiled from his divine order for seeking forbidden knowledge and realms. Obsessed with gaining more knowledge, Zed developed this idea that if knowledge exists everywhere, then he should be everywhere too. So he tapped into some demonic power and became omniscient and omnipresent. He's literally in every universe at once. He crosses through multiverses, breaks barriers, realities, you name it. Here's a theory I like about Zed in this skin line. I think he's aware that other skin lines exist. It's like he breaks the 4th wall. These other realms he's so desperate to explore, they could actually be the other skin lines in LoL. That's the forbidden knowledge he's after. Now, the reason this skin line isn't ranked higher is because only Zed seems to have reached this ridiculous level of power. The others, while insanely strong, haven't quite hit that walk and destroy reality level like Zed has. So while the potential is there, this could easily be a number 1 if we're talking potential. For now, it sits at number 4. Before we jump into 3rd place, I gotta throw out an honorable mention. There's a Wild Rift exclusive skin line called Stargazer. We don't have much lore here besides the champions' bios, but from what we we know, these stargazers can control planets, stars, and entire galaxies. They decide whether those galaxies continue existing or not. So yeah, we're already deep into exaggerated power territory. Among them, Camille is the strongest. She's the only one who can weave the threads of multiversal fate however she wants. I don't even fully know what that means, but like weaving the threads of the multiverse sounds insanely busted. So yeah, super powerful stuff, but since it's exclusive to Wild Rift, I'll leave it up to y'all in the comments to decide where it would land on the list. Now for third place, the Dark Star skin line. You might be surprised this universe isn't in the top spot, but let's break it down. The lore of the Dark Star and cosmic skin lines begins at the birth of the universe, and when one universe ends, another begins. It's a never-ending cycle, and these godlike beings fight to prevent the end of the current universe. These beings are massive, like a star is just a glowing ping pong ball next to them, kind of massive. One flick and the star's gone. Some were created from real-world constellations, like Skarner from Scorpio, while others came from the memories and fragments of destroyed galaxies. These guys are on a whole different level. Now, I won't go into all the characters, just the important ones. Jin, Lux, Thresh, and one mysterious figure I'll save for last. Jin's whole deal is turning the universe into a masterpiece, destroying galaxies, painting twisted art across the fabric of reality. What makes him scary is that he doesn't care about Lux or Thresh's methods. He does his own thing without fear of death. Thresh carries a mini-singularity with him, storing entire galaxies like they're nothing. He serves the Dark Star, aiming to merge with it. He's the second most powerful cosmic being here, just behind Lux. Lux, though, she became the new Dark Star. There was even a community vote, just like with Riven and Yasuo's emissary skins, where people chose if Lux would stay in the light or fall into darkness. The community picked darkness, so canonically, she became a Dark Star and erased her cosmic version from existence. Now, the mysterious character I mentioned is Kassadin. It's said he was born before the stars themselves. He exists alone in the void of space, silently watching as universes end and new ones begin. Unlike every other creature, even the most powerful ones like Thresh and Lux, who are wiped out when a universe ends, Kassadin just stays, always watching, never doing anything. That makes him potentially the strongest in this universe. He's just above everything else, but we don't know that for sure, so it's left open. By the way, the portal I mentioned from the Odyssey skin line that connects to the Dark Star universe, that was built in the Odyssey realm, so it's not a feat of the cosmic beings themselves. They might not even know the portal exists, otherwise they'd have gone through it and wrecked that universe already. Or maybe they just can't. Who knows? Coming in at second place, we've got the Empyrean skin line. The highest threat level here is multiversal. It all started when a force called the Foreglow, the life energy of every universe, all universes, so multiverse confirmed, was attacked by a dimensional parasite named Nocturne. He dove into this raw energy and got his body twisted, triggering the first dimensional collapse. This collapse had multiversal effects, and in each affected universe, one being was infused with concentrated Foreglow power. These beings were called Empyreans. They were the only ones to survive, and each of them got a unique flame called the Neon Flame, capable of burning the entire multiverse. The first and strongest Empyrean was Pike. His legendary skin shows this. After his reality collapsed, Pike woke up in another universe, hearing whispers from versions of himself that still existed. Fueled by rage, he destroyed countless universes, hunting and killing all the other Pikes with his Neon Flame. His goal? Kill every version of himself, then finally die. In the Fire to the Fuse cinematic, we see him invading another universe to kill a version of himself. The fight rips through multiple realities, and even Jax tries to protect that Pike, but fails. The power difference is just too big. All Empyreans can destroy universes, but none compare to Pike. And before moving on, let me say this. I know some of y'all are gonna say, but Dark Star characters can destroy planets. Yeah, but look, size doesn't mean strength, okay? Just because you see a character swing a weapon and blow up a planet doesn't mean they're stronger than someone who destroys multiverses without flashy visuals. Take Dragon Ball, for example. You've got characters throwing punches that literally erase universes, and they're still fighting on a normal-looking planet. So no, Dark Star isn't the strongest just because it looks the flashiest. Multiverse-level threats are just on a whole different tier. And finally, at number 1, we've got the Shanghai Scrolls skin line. This one has characters who can rewrite the universe just because they feel like it. The threat level here is way above the others. In this universe, there are these ancient scrolls. Nobody knows who created them or when, but they exist in the entire multiverse. Not just a universe, the entire multiverse. The BIOS and skin descriptions make it seem like each scroll might be its own multiverse. While other skin lines show characters traveling between universes, the Shanghai Scrolls exist from before all of them, and possibly contain multiple multiverses. It's hard to even explain. It's just absurdly powerful stuff. The main characters here are gods, monsters, and one spirit, Lilia. But the focus is really on the gods. The first gods were Nico and Jin. Jin lost his mind from being trapped in a painting with limited colors. That gave him the urge to escape and spread his twisted art across reality, rewriting existence itself. Nico still believes there's good in Jin and tries to stop the destruction, absorbing more and more power to save him, even though it's killing her. And keep in mind, the power she's absorbing is the kind that can destroy multiversal gods. More gods were created, some siding with Jin, some with Nico. All of them can rewrite the multiverse multiverse, but none of them match the first two in raw power. To compare, Empyreans are the concentrated power of one universe in one being. They're limited to one universe at a time, like Pike hopping around, killing his variants. But any of the Shan High gods could just erase the entire Empyrean multiverse with a brushstroke. This foreglow stuff? Let me just paint over it real quick. Boom, gone. That's how crazy powerful this skin line is. Now, of course, Riot doesn't always plan this stuff in advance. Lore is inconsistent. They could easily release a new skin tomorrow that throws all of this out the window. A lot of this is just theory. It's how I interpret things. Like, maybe each scroll is just a universe and not a multiverse. Even then, they're still rewriting full universes, which still puts them above everything else. But yeah, it's a fact that Darkstar and Cosmic will never be the strongest skin line as long as there are confirmed multiverse-level skin lines, unless they retcon it. Who knows? So feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments. But that's basically it. See you in another video.